Gray Area talks about sex, relationships, mental health, and more. Our content is intended for a mature audience, and the views and opinions expressed on the show are those of the talent and guests alone and are provided for informational purposes only. We want to talk to you, but this is a TV show, and our hosts are not qualified healthcare professionals. If you're depressed, feel your life is at risk, or need immediate assistance, please seek professional help or dial 911. Everyone, I'm Sasha Grey, and this is Gray Area.
And I'm Dumbfoundead, Sasha's co-host. We talked about naming the show Dumb Area, but it just didn't test well.
We're coming to you live from the VENN studios. And by the way, the fact that we're sitting so far apart is not because Dumb and I don't like each other. In fact, that's why we're sitting so far apart. Friends don't let friends get COVID.
No, that's the homie, and we should print that on a t-shirt. And yep, that's right. Thanks for keeping me out of spit range.
Oh, I could spit that far. I'm just choosing not to.
I take it back. That's what we should put on a t-shirt. And since we're live, if something goes wrong, we're just gonna roll with the punches.
Or blame Ian, our stage manager, right there.
Yo, shout out
What's up, Ian?
Ian got a shout out today? Okay, this is our second show. I had a blast at our launch, and tonight is gonna be even more lit.
Me too, and we've been reading all your comments and questions, and one theme that came through very strongly is, what am I gonna do with my life?
What the hell am I gonna do with my life?
Yes.
No, for real, like I still don't know what I'm gonna do with my life.
Oh, okay, all right. When you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up?
You know what? When I was in 4th grade, we had a career day and we had to come dressed as what we wanted to be when we grew up. And there was kids dressed up as doctors and astronauts and things like that. And I wanted to be a comedian. And during the 90s, comedians dressed with like oversized suit blazers and like had goatees. So I just was this little Asian kid with an oversized blazer and a goatee. I have something about blazers. You know?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
How about you?
Well, I don't know, like astronaut, vet, hockey player.
That is all over the place.
Yeah, my siblings are older than me, so that kind of makes sense. But eventually, I wanted to own my own restaurant.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Quite ambitious. What kind of food?
Greek food, but it was gonna be a contemporary Greek restaurant. So Greek food is like family style, a lot of big size portions. So I was thinking like something that was just easier to eat if it was like a couple or you're on your own, like tapas. So that was it. And I had the name, I had a business plan. It was called Garden of Adonis. I didn't even know at the time.
I've definitely seen an adult film named Garden of Adonis,
yeah,
for sure.
My like gay fantasies were so deeply rooted. It took me a few years to understand that about myself, and I'm glad I eventually did though.
All right.
All right, so I'm super, super stoked for our guest tonight. I don't know what he wanted to be when he grew up, but I do know that the world hopes he never grows up. He's known for starring in the iconic MTV show Jackass, and he just released his own insane comedy special called Gnarly. The man's synonymous with the words, "Do not try this at home," and we really do mean that. Steve-O!
The fact that I'm even still alive is a miracle. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a lot of fun breaking stuff over the years. I was working super hard to develop legitimate skills. More dudes ask me to kick them in the nuts than any man who's ever lived. I'm going to surgery, having a plate put in with 9 screws. But whatever, I heal like Wolverine. Awesome. I always wanted to be a Hollywood stuntman. All right.
Yes, Steve-O, thank you so much for being here. Man, we're just too excited. Too excited.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan because Jackass came out my freshman year of high school, so my teenage years, we just try to emulate Jackass. I had an Asian crew named the Jack-Asians.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's crazy. All right, so can we talk about you being taped to a truck, like naked? Who came up with this idea?
I came up with that one. It was, Yeah, just like, let me get duct taped to a billboard truck and drive hundreds of miles down the highway. Like,
Pretty straightforward idea. There was nothing.
yeah, it had to be done. And I was like, when I'm duct taped to it, I'll be defenseless. So I'm, you know, it's perfect opportunity for my buddies to torture me. So why don't I get all my jackass buddies together, have them tape me to it, and then do terrible things to me.
Wait, how many hours we talking on that ride?
I was taped to the side of that truck for 8 hours that day.
Oof, dang.
Yeah, we did it on 2 different days.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you didn't completely suffer.
Well, no, I suffered.
yeah, you suffered. You look like you suffered.
Yeah, I suffered for sure, but it was well worth it. And just the links, this was just for the opening sequence of this crazy multimedia comedy special I made. And I'm like really proud of the links we went to for this like little 90-second bit.
For sure. All right, so we're talking about your new comedy special, Gnarly. That's the clip we just watched right there. That's what opens up the movie, essentially. How did it come about?
How did the whole
special,
thing?
yeah.
The special, well, I mean, I've been doing a comedy tour for the last 10 full years. And as I put together a new show right after taping my first comedy special, it occurred to me that it would be really cool if it wasn't just me performing stand-up comedy, but rather if I could do it such that I'm telling jokes and stories and have it all illustrated with the footage of what I'm talking about edited in.
Yeah.
And so my head exploded. I was like, no way, I'm gonna make the first multimedia comedy special.
It felt like a TED Talk, actually.
Oh, well, thank you, man. Thank you. I was so psyched about it. And I started recording my shows and cutting it all together, and it was just working really well. But I just wanted to load it up with more new stunts, so that's what I did.
It's funny because you have stories with Mike Tyson in it, and it actually kind of reminded me of like Mike Tyson's special that he had on HBO, where he was doing a one-man kind of storytelling thing.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a one-man show, and thank you guys so much for checking it out.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. After watching all of that, you have so many stories, so many stunts, and you know, I mean, this is something I've always just wondered in general. Like, if there's one stunt you'd like never touch.
So funny, I've been getting that question a lot.
I'm sure.
Like, which is fine. Yeah. It's something people are legitimately curious about. But I have 2 answers. One is kind of boring, and one's more fun.
Yeah.
The boring answer for a stunt that was I decided against doing, being duct taped to a mechanical bull. It was the idea. It was just like, have me on the bull, and it's just like forever. Like, I just keep it going. But I figured at a certain point you gotta fall off that thing, and if you're like attached to it, then you're gonna have like a spinal cord injury. And for me, like the most important thing is to try not to get paralyzed. That's like you know, like that's so that's why I wouldn't do the duct tape to the bull.
You see, a non-expert would not think that one through, like that possibility of that happening.
Right, I mean, you figure you're falling off, but you're attached. Like, yes, that's no good. But that's the boring answer. The fun one is that when the VH1 network had like great success with these dating shows, Flavor of Love, Rock of Love.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
The production company responsible for those shows actually reached out to try to make the same thing, the same format with me.
Oh, wow.
Like instead of like Flavor Brett Michaels, it would just be
What's the name?
Steve-O.
What's the name?
Flavor of Steve-O.
The flavor. What would the flavor? I want to know what the flavor would be, but.
Right. Steve-O of Love. I don't know, but right when and I was glued to those shows. I loved them.
Yeah.
I was such a fan, and like from a creative standpoint, with like all of the little challenge, like okay, so today we've got this challenge, you know, like who's gonna get through and stay in the house, who's gonna get eliminated, like the potential.
I love that. That's gold right there.
Right, the potential for that to be a great show was there, and I loved it, the whole thing. But as soon as I heard the idea, it struck me, like I just cannot have 30 women on TV telling the whole world how fast I
Oh, you hit me.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting that one. That was good.
You know,
That was good.
like I pictured because they've got their and there's cameras all over the house.
Oh my God.
They'll be like gathered around in some like little room and it's all on camera and they're on
It ends after one episode. Oh man.
Do you still,
All right.
I gotta ask you, do people still come up to you and ask you to do crazy stunts on the spot?
Yeah, I've never had people ask me to do crazy stunts on the spot, like very, very much. It's not, I mean, radio stations, like radio DJs, they'll want me to do something. It's like, dude, it's on the radio.
We need content, bro.
Yeah.
Right, but what I get so often is, dude, is there any way I could get you to kick me in the nuts?
That's the...
More dudes have asked me to kick them in the balls than anybody who's ever lived. I 100% guarantee
It's
that.
like a rite of passage. Like, please, Steve-O, kick me in the nuts.
I would say that Johnny Knoxville or some of my other jackass buddies like would get asked more often than me, but they have not made themselves nearly as accessible. You know, like I've spent the last 10 years, and even before that, I had other kinds of tours. I've been just a touring like artist, and after every single show, before I get off the stage, I say I will not go anywhere. I will not do anything until I take a photo with every single one of you guys.
Aw.
So I actually interact with like untold tens of thousands of people every year.
All right, so when everyone learned that you were coming on this, ooh, I just bit my tongue. Oh, live, hey, it's okay. When everyone learned you were coming on the show, we got sent tons of videos, but we wanted to show you this one.
Okay.
In honor of you. This is from Debbie in Croatia.
I went over to my sister-in-law's house. We were drinking gin and tonics. Someone got the bright idea that this DIY zipline would be fun to try.
Scared? Oh, come on.
Jump, jump, jump.
When I got on the rope, I just went hurtling straight into the tree, full force. And sure enough, it turns out I broke my pelvis. Then they gave me some crutches on day 3 and they're like, okay, you can go now. So this is the video of how I broke my pelvis.
You know anything about your pelvis being broken?
DIY.
I've never broken my pelvis, no. But I mean, that's an interesting setup right there. 'Cause clearly they saw that coming.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Right? Like,
There is also, that tree was padded, by the way. So that's happened multiple times before.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew that was gonna happen. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, where do you rate that? 1 out of 10? Not that this was, I don't know why we're making fun of that injury, but it's, yeah.
A broken pelvis is no fun, but that
Yeah.
at least they let her go on crutches after 3 days.
She looks so super cute too, with the shades on, like posing.
How do you handle any negative backlash you might get from some of these stunts?
Negative backlash from stunts? I mean, I don't know. I haven't gotten too much negative backlash from stunts. I mean,
It doesn't seem like you kind of ignore most of the negative stuff, and you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty sensitive guy. I don't like, you know, I don't enjoy like people saying mean things about me.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
Right. I'm real sensitive.
I
in
pay
that
attention
regard.
to that one hater comment from like
Sure.
a 14-year-old kid across the country more than all the love I get
man.
on the videos.
All right. I think there is this pressure in your 20s that you have to have it all figured out too. I mean, do you have it figured out? Do we have it figured out? Do you ever have
Which
it
is
figured out?
Life figured out?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. The idea of figuring it out. Well, I mean, the first, I suppose, thing to figure out is what do you want to do? I mean, I heard that as a theme of
Yeah,
the intro.
exactly.
Is people are like, what am I going to do with my life? And that's an important question to ask oneself. Like, what? Life is what you make it, you know? Like, the meaning of life, I would say, is to pick one, you know? Pick a meaning and
Right.
make that, you know, make that what you're all about.
Is this what you've always wanted to do?
Pretty much, man.
Yeah.
You know, like I was a major attention whore right out of the womb, like straight up, like
I
you
feel
know.
you.
You mentioned that a lot in Gnarly too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're gonna show me. Yes.
Oh, big time. Like that's what's driven me is just this overdeveloped need for attention. And as far as what I wanted to do with my life, I grew up moving around and skateboarding was a big thing.
Yeah.
You know, like I really feel that skateboarding taught me like really important values, you know, of like persistence and sacrifice and hard work and
Pain tolerance.
a little bit, yeah. So the skateboard led me to the video camera, and I loved it because I could like edit out all of the failures, you know, and just show people what I wanted them to see.
Yeah.
That was like a big thing for me. Like, wow, I can actually like almost like craft like how I'm perceived in this. But I wasn't that great at skateboarding, no matter how much editing I did. And
people love to see the failures.
right, they do love to see I always had a slam section for sure. But when I was in high school, I just had this love for the video camera, and I thought, you know what, I want to be in the world of advertising. I thought, like, I just love making videos. Maybe I could be like a creative advertising guy and make commercials. So that's what I went to the University of Miami to pursue, and I just couldn't get to class. I just, you know, I couldn't go to fucking class. So I bailed out, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna make stunt videos and be a crazy stunt guy.
Crazy. Love it. All right, so we're gonna play a little game that we like to put our guests through called 20 and 60. Dum's gonna read you 20 questions. You're gonna try to answer as many as you can in 60 seconds.
You got it.
All right, let's start the clock right now. What was your first job?
I worked in a toy store.
What's the first thing you do in the morning?
Brush my teeth.
What's the last thing you do at night?
Meditate.
What's the last song you listened to?
The last song that I listened to, Holy Diver by Dio.
Where do you see yourself in 20 years?
Oh my God, in 20 years, on a farm.
Who would play you in a biopic about your life? This is a good one.
There's no need for a biopic about me because everything's on video.
With all the disgusting things you've eaten, what's something you think is gross that other people like?
Oh shoot, Spam?
I love Spam. What's the worst pain you felt?
That final scene in the Gnarly special, the 3rd-degree burns, worst pain.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna not spoil that, but you spoiled
Yeah,
it.
it's all good.
What was your favorite part of clown college?
Still Walking came to mind, I don't know.
All right, you got 9 questions out of 20. Well done.
Is that pretty good for
Pretty good. This is the
I think
second
that's pretty
episode, so
That's pretty good.
it's fine.
Dude, it reminds me so much of my first comedy special. They had a taser gun that actually shoots the wires with the darts and the barbs.
Oh yeah, trivia.
You know?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Dude, man, that's so crazy. You know about that one too.
Yeah, this is less pressure.
All right, so a little thing we do here is we have our live chat right here. They're watching it, they're commenting on it. Tons of people love your glasses.
Oh, cool. So this is actually going out live.
Oh, we're live.
How about that?
They're all commenting right here.
They love my glasses.
They
Super
love your
cool.
glasses.
What do we got? We got any live questions?
Spam.
I've never even tasted Spam. I just assumed
You've
that I
never
don't like
tasted
it.
Spam?
I've never even tasted it.
Let me tell you, Spam is huge in the Korean community, and it is fantastic.
All right, so we have a comment from Allison Meows. Hi, Allison. Imagine mayo is where he draws the line.
Mayo?
Mayo. Yeah, all right, stay right there. We're gonna check out some of Steve-O's new comedy special,
Cool.
Gnarly, right when we get back.
Rad.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Are we ready?
Yeah. Hey, let me inspect for crabs this time.
Yeah,
Like a dream.
Welcome back to Gray Area. Today we have Steve-O with us. That was a clip from your new comedy special, Gnarly, and Gnarly it is.
Oh, yes.
Some of those gnarly videos, what did you think about that?
I was just telling Steve, like, the punch where he tries to get him back with the punch. And he's like, it's like in a dream, and I couldn't do it. It was so weak. I was like, that's how I feel.
That is pretty
happened to
accurate
me.
in the dreams, actually. You can't
Yeah.
throw that right punch. You know what I'm saying? There's always some bully, too, in there, too. You just
man, I
Right.
can't tell you guys how much I appreciate you having watched it. Really, that rules.
Oh, no, it was great. It was really good.
Otherwise, I'd just be really quiet, like, I don't know anything.
Actually, where can people watch it?
Yeah, it's at steveo.com. It's
Steve-O.
at my website. It's right on there. You got to be 18 years old you know, it says, "Are you 18?" You click yes, and then.
That's what I loved
Magic.
about it too. At the end, it's special. It's like a FU to any platform that
Yeah,
was messing
dude.
with it and straight to
Yeah.
the source. And I love that. I
Right.
respect that
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah, it was. You know, most places just can't mess with it because it's just so loaded
Right.
with like really explicit stuff. But I think there are some platforms that could have put it out there, and they just elected not to.
I
Right.
think the thing too, I mean, they always, let's call them these platforms, they always like to say, we can't allow that unless it's from an educational point of view. But for me, Gnarly is almost like a PSA for not doing drugs. And I feel like it should be.
Sure.
It should totally be educational. I think it is. But it's also, it's funny, it's serious, it combines all of those elements. And I feel you, man. I feel the frustration of like
Well, yeah, thank you.
And you did
them
some.
not supporting it.
Yeah, and you did some good work in Gnarly where you were arrested for protesting SeaWorld.
Right.
Did that end up helping the cause?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. The movement, the Blackfish movement against SeaWorld was going very strong at the time. And I think perhaps it was coincidence, but very shortly after I got arrested protesting SeaWorld, there was some movement with legislation banning the reproduction of the breeding of killer whales and stuff, like at these places. In captivity, you couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, we're not saying Steve-O shut down SeaWorld, but we're saying Steve-O shut down
I certainly helped.
All right, so in your special, you also talk about your recovery and that it's harder doing stunts sober. But is it harder doing them sober or, you know, older?
It's
we
great.
don't bend the same, you know?
Right. You know, I don't know that doing stunts is that much harder sober. I mean, yeah, I do say how like when I was filming Jackass 3D, and it was like the first time being in those situations and like kind of newly sober. It was like, oh, okay, now I got to do this stuff, and I'm like, well, like present, you know, like
Yeah.
that was a concern, but at the same time, I had such a chip on my shoulder to prove that I was still crazy, you know, like, and I was just such an attention whore anyway. Now I've been sober for so long, it's just what I do, you know?
You know,
Yeah.
you have this non-traditional kind of grown-up job. Do you feel grown up at this point or ever?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Same. Guilty.
And yeah, so tomorrow I'm doing a big one.
Oh, really? Like, literally,
Yeah,
less than 24 hours, it's going down with a crazy.
Yeah, I would say and I can't say what it is, but like, yeah, tomorrow's. I think I might be on the news tomorrow, and I might be in a bunch of trouble.
Wow. Now I am so curious about this.
So you have an incredible fan base. Like they seem really loyal to you, but through everything that you've done and what you're doing, whether it's your stunts or animal activism, like where is your heart at now? Where do you want to continue your journey? And even your podcast. Like I was like, what? I didn't even know you had a podcast, and I was like checking it out. What the hell? And it's really cool stuff.
Well, thank you. It's pretty new, the podcast. And where am I at now? I've always been an attention whore, and it was just like, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me, you know? And I think that like as I've grown older and evolved, where you know, if I've grown up at all, it's that now like I want to really get lots of attention and kind of like earn as much money as I can, you know, so that we can buy this farm and
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
like have a big animal sanctuary and stuff like that. Like
Cool.
there's a little bit like where my priorities are less like, oh, I want everything for me, and more like I just want to acquire stuff so that I can use it to be helpful in some way. And that I think is pretty cool.
Sure. Well, we have a
that.
question right now live from Mo. Let's take it to the wall right now. Mo. Hey, Mo.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi.
Good, how are you?
You got a question for us and Steve-O?
Yes, I do. How do I talk to a friend about their substance abuse without making them defensive?
Yeah, I got this one. It's really tricky. I wish there was a way to make somebody want to be in recovery, you know, and there just isn't. I think it's really a wonderful thing that you're asking this question, because in reality, if somebody has a problem and they've got people coming at them trying to push sobriety on them, if you try to push sobriety on somebody, you actually are just gonna push them away from sobriety.
Right.
You know, like, I compare it to a swimming pool, this whole like recovery thing. You know where you go to a swimming pool and you'll dip your toe in the water and you're like, damn, that feels cold. Like, I don't want to get in. You know, like, you're not going to walk in gradually and like, you know, just torture. And the way to get in the pool, jump all the way in.
Yeah.
And right when you land in the water, it feels cold. But you're all, you know, always when you do that, it's like a moment, and then you're like, man, I'm comfortable in here now, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I think that you gotta just jump into recovery all the way in, and then you get acclimated to it. But the thing is, here, what we're talking about, you can't go up to people and shove them in the pool.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't shove people in the pool, you know? Like, they're not gonna thank you, they're not gonna stay in. And in my case, it was just like, I was on fire. You know, like if you're on fire, like, yeah, you jump in the pool.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
Mo, I hope that answers your question. Thank you for calling. Appreciate that, Steve-O.
I think that the way to get them to not be defensive is to say, hey, like, when you're ready, there's a whole community of people ready to welcome you. You know, ready to welcome you, and you don't have to do it alone.
Awesome. Thanks, Mo. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we're a little warmed up now. I feel like we gave some pretty decent advice so far. Yeah.
We're trying, because there's a lot of bad advice out there.
And clearly, we don't want to do that here. So let's actually play a game called Bad Advice. All right, we're gonna purge all that crappy advice out of our systems. I'm going to read a question, and let's see who can give the worst advice. Worst advice. All right, so the first one is, my manager is constantly looking over my shoulder at work. How should I deal with him? Steve, bad advice. Terrible, the worst thing you could think of.
Sexually harass him.
Dumb.
I'm gonna just leave the dandruff hanging on my shoulders, you know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say, like, watch porn on your phone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, I think Discord, is gonna give us some bad advice too.
Okay.
Let's see what you guys came up with. More Chris, what's up, more Chris? Oh my goodness, I would get a super aggressive parrot, okay? And teach it to hate your boss. Shoulder intimacy solved.
Okay, there you go.
Creative.
That is a creative one.
All right, let's try another one. I lost my job and had to move in with my grandma. How do I handle my dating life? I can't be like, let's go back to my grandma's house. All right, worst advice?
I say just bring them over. Grandmas can't hear that well. You could have loud sex and they won't even trip.
That's actually kind of good.
Yeah.
Bad advice. Any terrible advice for dates and grandmas?
Get grandma in on a threesome.
Yo.
All right,
Incest
Discord.
is best.
Discord family, what did you guys say? Sing said.
What?
Ask them if they...
I felt like that was Family Feud, and the survey says.
Great minds think alike. Ask them if they like older women and are into threesomes.
That was not even planned, which is funny. Okay, and if you're just tuning in, we're just playing Do Not Try This at Home.
All right, when we come back, we'll hear your gnarliest stories and get some actual good advice from Steve-O.
Right.
I was at an ex house.
I was on stage with Steve-O
at 7-Eleven, crackhead, wrestling, the cashier.
We had a dartboard. Whatever it landed on is what you had to do.
My friend and I were picked up by a bunch of Icelandic fishermen in Reykjavik.
I was gonna kick my friend in the nuts. My friend wouldn't go up, so I told him I'd do it.
I stepped in a little bit. He took a swing at me.
She took my shoe and threw it on a power line.
I pretty much tore my leg off as a trampolinist at the knee.
I asked my girlfriend to film it for me. I up my whole left side.
He hit me the third time. That hurt.
So I just swung the door right into his hand.
I climbed the power line, got those shoes.
That's how I ended up with a tattoo of my buddy's name.
I visited a sex cult in Utah. I still have the book that they gave me.
They gave me free hot dogs for the next 3 months. So it was pretty cool.
I want to hear more of those. I want to hear the extended versions of those. All right, welcome back to Gray Area. Today we are talking with Steve-O and talking about the topic, what do I do with my life?
All right, and we have a caller. Hi, Laura. What's your question?
Hello.
Hey there. Laura, how you doing?
Good, and you guys?
Good. What's your question for us?
Well, my question is, what is the best way to get my boyfriend to roleplay with me?
Dungeons and Dragons or sex?
In the bedroom, right? Is that what that is?
She was like, no, definitely not.
Definitely in the bedroom, not Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. Sasha, you got anything for her?
Yeah, so we know not in the bedroom, but can we get more of an idea of what it is that you're after?
No,
she's saying it's in the bedroom.
Oh, it is in the bedroom, okay. So what kind of role playing in the bedroom?
I want to wear wigs. I want to wear the outfit. I want props. I'm a theater nurse, right? So I want the whole production.
Oh, you're a theater nurse.
Is he conservative?
No, he's just kind of like, oh, that's a little weird. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Really?
You know, I've role played in the bedroom, and your improv game has to be pretty good, I gotta say. So maybe take some improv classes, go to Groundlings or Second City or something.
I would just say, tell him what you want and ask him to meet you halfway. Like, play with me, please. Spice it up. How long have you guys been together?
4.5 years.
Oh yeah, it's time.
Steve-O, you done any role playing? Like, just the extra careful, safe guy in the bedroom? Like.
I think I'm kind of boring in the bedroom, you know.
He already told us it's like 30 seconds. They'd be disappointed.
I look up to the Minuteman.
It's just a minute of scripted role play.
Right. Well, I mean, my girl and I don't know. We get it done, man. I think we're pretty compatible.
Get her done.
Yeah. But I've been, and she'll wear like some kind of cool outfit sometimes, you know. Cool. And I love like I call her underwear.
Yeah.
A vagina wrapper, you know. I call that like I really like that rapper, you know.
You have her dress up like Johnny Knoxville, like, hey, please.
Yeah.
Laura, I hope that works out. You know, I think just tell them what's up.
Take charge, yeah.
Take charge.
Take charge a little bit. I think it's time.
Let's hop in there.
Take the lead.
Pop up with a wig.
Now, I heard you say that you want to wear wigs, but is it important to you that he wear some kind of costumes?
He doesn't have to wear the wig. I want him to just pretend with me that he is someone else, that I am someone else. I'm gonna take you up on the improv idea though.
All right.
Okay.
Good luck.
Good luck, Laura.
Thank you.
Okay, next we got Wesley on the phone here to talk to us. Hey, Wesley, you're on with Steve-O. What's up, Wes?
Hello.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, what you got for us?
All right, so I'm originally from Michigan, and I moved out to LA a few years ago. But as I get older, I really miss my family. Before, I kind of wanted to get away from them, and kind of torn. I know I can't go back home because it's nothing for me there. But I want to be close to them. So, any advice y'all have on that front?
It's like the stoplight that's both lit red and green at the same time.
Right. No, you got to live your own life. You know, I felt guilty too, because me coming from a very traditional Korean family, we have like the family business element, where like you take over the family business and all that. And obviously, I didn't want to, run a shop in downtown LA, like so. But my dad appreciated it later on, and when he saw like the direction that I went, I think I think they'll be there for you and support you in whatever route you choose, and you're balling enough to maybe fly them over to your area,
or maybe get them to move out here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have video calls.
I like that.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Some kind of a compromise, like you fly them out.
Yeah.
Or you go home to visit temporarily.
Yeah.
Gotta make those trips.
Yeah, go visit them, you'll change your mind. No. Thanks for calling, Wesley. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time. Thanks, guys.
All right, on that note, it's time for our poll question. It's what makes you feel the most stressed? What makes you feel the most stressed about the future? Parents, society, myself, or social media? Well, that's good. I like that. How about you? What do you think?
I mean, dude, we're living in a scary time right now, where like economic collapse, Great Depression, like people not being able to eat, it's
You could add more to that poll right there. All those
Seriously,
things.
yeah.
right. I mean, it's just like the thing, like food insecurity is really like a super scary thing, you know.
Right.
Food is a weapon.
Right, and so.
All right. Well,
All
let's
right.
get more on that. But
So stick around, you guys. We're gonna take more of your calls next. Welcome back to Gray Area. We're hanging out with Steve-O. And you know how sometimes when you're going through it, life feels like, what the hell, man? Why is this all happening to me? But then later you look back on it and it all kind of makes sense. Does that happen to you?
yeah, it takes time. You know, there's like 10 years of me, like, why is this still happening to me? But I feel like it turns around eventually.
Yeah. Would you give like any good advice to your 16-year-old self? If you could travel back in time?
16-year-old self.
Yeah, for sure. I would say, don't smoke cigarettes and floss your teeth.
And floss your teeth.
Floss your teeth.
I was like envisioning right when you said floss the shoestring through your nose.
Oh, wow. I could feel that as you were doing that, which was crazy.
You know, like, this is important, I think, for a lot of people, because in our society, there's a real, like, just a taboo against telling somebody that they have bad breath. If somebody has bad breath, like, there's just like a rule that you don't say that.
Right.
It's weird.
But then there's some people who have, like, and it's, some people can get away with not flossing and some people cannot get away with not flossing. I was the type of person who could not get away with it. And like, so I had this bacteria in my mouth.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, when you get, I remember like when I was like in my teens, like I would brush my teeth, my mom would be like, your breath. I'd be like, Mom, I just brushed my teeth. She'd be like, yeah, but your breath.
Yeah.
You gotta, so anybody like, run a floss through your teeth and smell the floss, and if it smells gross, then that's what happens.
Your teeth are fire,
sick.
by the way. Do you guys ever wonder, worry you're making the wrong decision, and how do you get over that? I mean,
all the time, all the time.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm very worried about making the wrong decision right now.
Okay.
Oh, whoops.
Well, Victoria is here to talk to us. You're on with Steve-O. Hey, Victoria.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm
Good,
Victoria.
Victoria, you have great teeth just like Steve-O. Both of y'all got fire
Thanks.
teeth. Okay. What would you like to ask us?
Okay, so I really want to shoot my shot at my like somewhat celebrity crush, and we have a couple mutual friends that I've asked, and like nothing's really worked so far. So what do I do?
Okay, this is so funny. She says, my somewhat celebrity crush. So, first off, don't tell them that you consider them a somewhat celebrity. No matter
Yeah,
who
that's
they are.
great. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's the first step. That's the first step.
Yeah.
Acknowledging that he's a celebrity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somewhat.
Oh, my
would you?
goodness.
I mean, do you mind sharing who the celebrity is, or do you want to keep that private?
Okay, so I don't know if you guys have ever seen the show Impractical Jokers. It's Brian Quinn from Impractical Jokers.
All right, that's
But we have,
that's not
I
a
mean,
somewhat.
because like we
Yeah.
have a couple mutual friends.
Right.
How
right.
old are you?
So he's not like, I'm 25.
Okay, because those guys aren't like young, right?
They seem older, right? They're all older.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like in their 40s.
I think it's tricky putting somebody on a pedestal because you're already having this fantasy of like, this is the celebrity crush, this is what it's gonna be, and I feel like you're almost downplaying your own self-worth.
Nah, I heard her downplaying the celebrity.
Oh, sorry. Oh, man.
Wait, the question was, you gonna shoot your shot or not? Like,
Yeah, I want to shoot my shot. I just don't know how to do it.
and what does that
What should I
entail?
do?
Shooting your shot is like, is it
Just hooking up
Just hooking
or-
up? Yeah, exactly. That's
what
what
are you
I mean.
after?
real.
What
Yeah,
are you
what are you
after? Are
after?
you looking for a relationship, or you just
I
want
mean, we'll see once we meet.
Once you you just want a chance to meet him and go on a date.
Yeah. All right.
I would say tread carefully. I think it's always a little it crosses the boundaries.
Especially celebrities, yeah, they have these boundaries that they don't want to cross, you know, so that is tough. I mean, actually, many celebrities have crossed the boundary, actually,
Yeah.
but I think it's just a tough one. You guys.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Steve-O.
I mean, I hear Sasha saying tread carefully, like just for her.
I just think it's difficult when you idolize somebody. They're never gonna live up to your expectations. You're already entering an uneven
Like a cursed
playing
relationship.
field.
Like it's like a cursed relationship
Yeah,
already jumping
I
in.
think that's like the wrong reason to
Yeah.
want to go out with somebody.
Yeah, maybe you should wait until you become a celebrity and then you guys can relate.
So,
All right, we're gonna move.
It reminds me of when I first got sober. I remember they say like don't date in your first year of sobriety.
Yeah. Wow.
Like just
Yeah.
like, you know, you don't want any, like, you know. And I remember showing up and telling my sponsors, like, yeah, I'm gonna be up with this chick, and I had like a pocket full of rubbers, you know? And I was like, yeah, and he says, all right, Jim, I'm obviously not gonna talk you out of it, but just don't have any feelings.
Dang, don't have any feelings.
Right, because it's when people get hurt, you know, they're
Spiral.
vulnerable, right. So
Yeah.
that just, this whole conversation reminded me of that, where I feel like your advice to this girl is don't have any feelings about it, right?
Yeah, or don't have feelings.
Well, Victoria,
Yeah, it's
I
just boning.
Well, I hope your impractical relationship works out. Thanks for calling, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, we're gonna check in on our Discord live chat. Let's see who's there.
What's Discord?
Discord is, let's see,
They
let's
just said,
contextualize
okay,
it.
boomer. No, I'm
Discord,
kidding.
yeah. Discord is like, think of a message board in the 90s.
Okay.
Except enhanced, because you have a message board with channels and all this cool stuff you get to do. It can be private or public.
Okay.
You could chat and hang out.
We got a question from Bob. I have so many goals and ambitions that I get overwhelmed and freeze. What are some things that can help me prioritize and get these things in motion?
I feel that way a lot. Yeah, I think meditating helps. It kind of centers you, and I know a lot of people talk about like self-help and self-care, but it can be intimidating. I know it's been intimidating for me in the past when I've gone through things, but there's so many guided meditations available. You just put on some headphones. It's something you don't even have to have experience doing it, and figure it out. Like, just give yourself a little bit of a break, and then get into your schedule and really cut yourself off. Yeah. Give yourself a time limit with things.
Yeah, how about you? Because you don't seem like type to freeze.
I'm all about meditation. I average 40 minutes every day for almost a full year.
Wow.
Yeah, you do it 20 minutes, twice a day. Yeah. And but in this case, for a person who's got ambitions and goals and they're overwhelmed and they're freezing, to me, I wanted to say, like, a to-do list there's a lot of power in it.
Yeah.
It's just like, what do my goals require that I do? One foot in one foot in front of the other. Like, you just break down what the next indicated actions are, and you list them and you take those actions.
Sometimes I've done that, and sometimes I look at it and I just get intimidated though.
Yeah.
So for me, it's actually kind of a constant struggle. I'm like, okay, I have to hit reset and then go at it. So it's something that I have to practice a lot. It doesn't come easy to me, but I think you can do it. It's just you have to constantly remind yourself.
And they talk about it, they're overwhelmed with a lot of ambition, so I think it's one little goal at a time.
Yeah.
Don't try to do it all
Bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, bite-sized pieces, there you go.
Yeah, bite-sized pieces.
All right, this is the last chance to vote in our poll. Vote now. What is stressing you out the most about the future? This is just, I don't know why it's funny to me, this question, because it's 2020, that's why.
Yeah, seriously. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, because that will stress me out. Gray Area. If you're just joining us, you've been missing out on our time with TV icon Steve-O, but you can catch up on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, VENN.TV. Check us out under watchvenn everywhere.
I feel like I really got to get out there and take some risks now. My most dangerous thing I've done in the last 3 months is eat questionable leftovers in the fridge. So
I can't wait to have you over for a barbecue.
Oh, you got it.
You gotta do it.
You got
All right.
All right.
Steve-O, you've had a wild ride. What, in your opinion, is the meaning of life?
The meaning of life is to pick a meaning for your life. Figure out, like, establish a goal. It's impossible to hit a target if you're not first identifying a, like, target.
Yep, I like that.
I feel that. I feel that.
Work it.
I'm gonna add on to that. You know, there's this thing we like to call analysis paralysis. You think too much about it and you never get anything done.
Yep.
You know, and you paralyze and you're like, I'm waiting until I'm ready. You're never gonna be ready. That's 100%. The truth. You're never gonna be ready.
We don't have it figured out.
My bull rider buddy, he said, you're never ready to ride a bull.
Yeah.
It just becomes your turn.
Yep. well, here are the results of our poll tonight's question. What makes you feel the most stressed out about the future? Parents, society, myself, or social media? Let's see what you said. Oh, wow.
All right, parents, 7%. Society, 63%. Myself, 22%. Social media, 8%. Society at 63% makes so much sense, though. Like, we are the streaming culture.
Is society like everything? I feel like
society, yeah. Like what stresses you out? The world.
Yeah. All of you.
It's like circling C when in those Scantron tests. Like if you don't know, just circle C. All right, society.
Right.
All right.
All right, everyone. That's it for tonight. It went by so fast. Steve-O, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. What an honor and what a beautiful studio. Let's go VENN. VENN for the win.
Yeah.
Soundbite. We're here live. We're here live every Wednesday and Friday night at 7 p.m. West Coast and Friday night.
Friday night, we're going to be talking to Lauren Gray. She's a phenomenon across social media.
Oh, wearing your mask.
And now that she's built her empire, she's moving on to music. But check this out.
That's merch right there. I don't know what that white substance in the face is.
Wait, is that?
Okay, look at that.
Dishwashing liquid.
What is that,
Oh,
Steve-O?
I did see that.
Okay, we're going to say that's dishwashing liquid. We'll have another poll to guess what that white substance in his mouth is right there. Okay.
Yes.
You can get these at steveo.com.
Okay, steveo.com, and that's also where you can see his new special, Gnarly.
Yes.
Support your independent artists like this man right here.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. And we gotta come and go, just like his shirt says. And as always, don't forget to send us your questions. Hit us up on all the platforms.
Thank you for watching us on Gray Area. See you next time.
Yay!